Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Beretta 9mm USA here, and this is going to be a great versus video. We have the Beretta M9A3 versus the Wilson Combat 92G Vertec Brigadier Tactical, and that video is coming up next.
Double action.
Let's kind of get into the overall quality of both of these pistols. Let's go ahead and talk about the slide first. On the Wilson Combat, you're going to notice you do have the thicker, stronger slide compared to the M9A3. You can tell here the pistol on the right, which is the Wilson Combat, you can see how much thicker the frame is through here, which I do believe would lead to a longer service life.
And it does. I mean, it's proven. You know, the regular Berettas have had some problems, you know, when they're getting very high round counts with the slides cracking.
Right, which would be right in this general area, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just check that out. You can tell there's a stronger slide here with the Wilson Combat. So you can tell that the Wilson is just stronger made up in the slide, which is a huge plus because you're spending a little bit more money for this. That's just one of the advantages.
All right, guys, we're shooting that 6 Hour Elite Performance ammunition. It is the 115 grain full metal jacket, traveling at 1,185 feet per second.
One of the cheapest parts about this Beretta M9A3 were the plastic cheap grips that came with it. I've already upgraded these with a set of LOK Grips. These are the bogeys, and they cost about $60 for the upgrade. It's worth it in the overall feel of the pistol to put that money out there and get some better grip panels on your pistol. But with the Wilson, they come with these fantastic Wilson Combat indestructible grips. They say they cannot be broken. They are beautiful to look at.
They're black cherry, and they have a Wilson Combat medallion inlaid into the grips.
And they have a ton of texture and grip to them. They feel fantastic in the hand, guys. So this is the way it comes. No extra money needed there. So there's a savings.
Go.
Double action. First round.
So the machining on both pistols is extremely good overall. You can see some tool marks on the Beretta M9A3, and we'll try to go ahead and show those to you now.
It's really hard to pick up, but I think you can see it a little bit right there.
And there's some chattering and tool marks over by the mag release. See if you can get in there. It's right in that area right there. You see that?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, guys, but it's just some things that I've noticed. And I handpicked this M9A3 out of 5 or 6 different examples that I looked at. It had the best trigger, and I didn't spot anything wrong with it. I'm just going to say that the overall quality control at regular Beretta...
There's some misses. I mean, there really is.
It's nowhere near as good as Wilson Combat's quality control.
I mean, you know, this is really sad, guys. I mean, when you can't put a good pair of grip screws on a pistol, when you strip grip screws like we've noticed on previous Beretta pistols that we've looked at, and then another Beretta M9A3 that had a dead trigger out of box in regards to the trigger arm sticking behind the grip panel, how does a trigger arm stick to a plastic grip panel and have the trigger lock up entirely on a gun at a gun store brand new out of box?
Yeah, that happened to me back when I was trying to find one to buy.
Yeah.
That is why I went through 5 or 6 different examples before I finally bought one. So overall, am I happy with the handgun? Yes, I am. And I'm not here to bash it, but I just want to show you what the difference is when you go from a regular Beretta to a Wilson Combat Beretta. Because some people may not understand what you're getting for that extra $400, $500.
Double action first round.
Both of these pistols have some beveling for easier magazine insertion. The Wilson Combat Vertec has a mag guide installed where the lanyard loop used to be.
Yeah.
So you put the magazine into the back right there and it slides into the pistol. That's super cool.
Extremely easy to put those mags in the gun with that in there.
I couldn't believe how well it worked. It's really great.
Yeah.
And what's the value on that? So as we start pointing out these differences, you guys got to start figuring out, well, what's that worth? What's that worth? As we get closer and closer to the end of the video, you'll start seeing that the Wilson Combat actually is the better value for the gun.
Yeah.
The Beretta M9A3 comes stock with a plastic guide rod. This is a cost-cutting measure. As you guys know, we change our guide rods into high-quality guide rods on almost every gun we get. We decided to install an all-steel SS guide rod in this particular pistol, which comes in at a cost of $26. Again, this is an added cost for the pistol, whereas the Wilson comes with a wonderful fluted steel guide rod stock out of box. So they already have the steel guide rod in there.
And you can see the fluting job. It's just very, very nicely done.
M9A3 magazine.
Both of these Beretta variants come with front strap checkering, and I thought it was pretty well done here on the M9A3. I mean, it's real, and it's there. It goes a couple different directions. It does give you some texturing, something to grab a hold of there on the front and the back. Not much traction back here. It's kind of fine. You can notice your thumb can just slide right over it, no problem at all. But it is there, and I did appreciate that. And I thought I had good texture and a decent grip until I ran into this. The Wilson Combat does a much better job on the texturing here. It's not so great down here, but up here, it really does grab into your skin and give you a great grip on it. On the back, that carries on. This is much better done. You can just see how your thumb doesn't just slide across it. Really well done back here.
And that's done in-house by Wilson Combat.
And that leads to a very nice grip on the pistol. A ton of control here. So you've got the 1911 type of frame here. It's thinner in circumference, easier to grab a hold of, and you've got better panels here as far as your grip panels, and better texturing front and aft.
And that's huge, guys. I mean, you know, the difference in machining, that's a difference in overall quality of the pistols. You're paying for the quality in this Wilson compared to the Beretta M9A3.
You definitely feel like you've got a quality firearm right here. Very nicely done.
Double action first round. Trigger is unbelievably smooth, and light, and crisp. Great reset. So guys, one thing I wanted to point out is in regards to the extra quality assurance checks that Wilson Combat does on the Berettas. Look at the loose tolerances as far as the slide to frame fitment right there, in comparison to how tightly fit the Wilson Combat is. This is just another difference that sets the Wilson Combat Berettas apart from the standard Berettas. They're just better fit overall. It is just so fast.
Alright guys, we hit on quality a bit there. We're going to move on to features. Both of these Beretta variants, the M9A3 and the Wilson Combat Vertec, have the Model G as far as the Decocker is concerned. So if you want to decock your pistol, you're at the firing line, you want to decock your pistol, you just reach up and hit where the traditional safety is, pull it down, hammer falls, trigger goes forward, let go of it, and you are in double action.
This is also a benefit when you're loading the pistol. You can't rack the gun into safety. It'll either be in single action or double action depending on how the lever comes up in time.
And I will try to show that to you with the Wilson here. So again, look at that fantastic hammer, by the way. All right, so we're cocked right here. We're gonna reach up, we're gonna decock, hammer's gonna fall, trigger's gonna go forward, no round goes off. This is a decocker. You release it. Now, what young Beretta was talking about is if you go hand over or slingshot the pistol, some people have a tendency to accidentally put a regular Beretta into safe, leaving it there, grabbing it and pulling them down. That's not the case with the Wilson Combat. It goes into the firing position after you're done. This is single action here. It's also possible to get it back in double action.
It all depends on when you let go of the decocking levers. If you let go of it late, you'll end up in double action. If you let go of it early, you will end up in single action.
Well, here, it actually stayed back in single action. And here, you're ready to fire, be it single action or double action. So the pistol does not get caught in safety mode with a dead trigger. It will never happen with these G models. So no matter what Beretta you have, the G model is the way to go in my opinion. Those of you that think that you gotta have a safety, that's why you have a wonderful full length trigger pull right here in double action. There's no accidentally firing this pistol. That is the safety. It is fantastic. Do not underestimate it. The G model is the way to go.
And I know for a fact you can't stand the safety models. I mean, you've accidentally put your Beretta pistols in a safe on more than one occasion when you wanted it to be in single action.
I think that's why I'm sold on the Decocker version, the G models. I think it's the best way to go. It just makes common sense. I'd hate for somebody to accidentally get hurt when they're trying to protect themselves and having put their own weapon on safety and taking them out of the fight.
Yeah.
One more thing to add to the decockers, the Wilson Combat, very high quality decockers made in-house by Wilson Combat. On the M9A3, both sides are metal here. This one is more of a full size. Pretty easy to hit and release. G model, right? Left-hander, you've got that.
So the safety on this side is smaller compared to the traditional Berettas. On the other side is the side that is normally plastic on the $600 to $700 Berettas. That is important to mention. So there's a huge step up in quality on both of these pistols as far as the decockers over the standard Berettas.
This is the side that young Beretta was saying that they're plastic on lesser model Berettas. So if you're looking at a $700, $750 Beretta, that's what you're getting. If you go to the M9, stepping up a couple $100, this is what you get. The Beretta M9 comes with the suppressor ready barrel on it. Pretty nice quality. And if you wanted to add a suppressor, that may be the way you go. As far as the Wilson Combat is concerned, the Wilson Combat comes with an elite stainless steel match grade barrel. It has a recessed target crown to it also, which is a nice touch. Very nice looking Beretta. And of course, we already covered that the hammers are much different. This is a super nice hammer. And when you're talking to me, an owner of 5 or 6 other Beretta pistols, I get tired of seeing just these solid, kind of ugly hammers.
There's a difference in quality.
That's just my opinion. I am an owner, guys. So I'm talking from lots of ownership experience. I've always thought that, can't we just do anything with that? I mean, does it have to look like that? Especially on this, we're upgrading in quality and upgrading in price, but we don't seem to be getting anything for it. So anyway, I like this hammer. That's just personal opinion, guys. Like I said, of owning lots of Berettas, This brings it all to the table.
Wow.
That NeoMag, right?
NeoMag, but it's just a hell of a shooter. My reloads with the NeoMag has sped up my reloads by 300%.
Yep.
So, love that NeoMag coming out of my pocket right here. And it just sits down there like that. But this Wilson Combat Beretta is amazing.
Yep. So guys, something important that I wanted to cover, which is pretty much equal on both of these pistols. The Beretta M9A3 comes with 3 17-round magazines. This is the special SAM-resistant magazine. And the Wilson Combat comes with your standard capacity style magazine, so for a Beretta M9A3 that's 15 shots. These magazines are the same as the M9A3 magazines in that they have a SAM-resistant finish. Either way, both extremely high quality magazines. And both pistols will take any Beretta 92FS mag you want to put in them. And last mag. Double action gun, offhand. Decocked again. Alright guys, let's go over another difference on these two pistols, and that's the sight picture. The Beretta M9A3 comes with a 3-dot sight picture profile. You've got tritium vials in the rear, all Trigicon. You got a square cut profile. It's a good high visibility sight picture. Very good quality steel sights. Both pistols do feature removable sights, so you can change them out if you want to because they're dovetailed in, which is good to know. And here's the Wilson Combat sights. This is their Wilson Combat Battle Rear sight, which is heavily serrated to reduce glare. You have a U-shaped profile rear sight for quick sight acquisition, and a tritium Trigicon front sight. Really good sight picture on both these pistols. But if you want faster acquisition, I would say the Wilson Combat is where it's at.
Alright guys, let's talk about something I always like to cover with handguns when we're doing reviews, and that's the triggers. The trigger on the M9A3 is one of the best out of the past Beretta pistols that I've ever experienced. Here's the double action pull on it. It's smooth and consistent, and about 2 pounds or maybe even 2.5 pounds lighter than my other Beretta pistols, which made for a nice trigger pull.
And that's because this model has a D hammer spring.
And I always thought that was really good. And then there's the Wilson Combat. Here's the double action. At least 2 pounds lighter than the M9A3. Very consistent through its pull. No issues, no problems. Very easy to master. Folks that have tried Beretta pistols before and you didn't care for that big trigger pull, how heavy it was, how long it was. This one's still long, but it's very consistent. And remember, this is just your first trigger pull. After that, you're going to single action.
Something I want to mention really fast about the M9A3 compared to the Wilson. I think that the trigger stacks definitely on the M9A3, whereas the Wilson has no stack in that double action trigger. When you're getting near the rear, in my opinion, I think it stacks.
Maybe a little right there.
Yeah.
It's really not bad though, and I do think it's better than all my old Beretta 92s and 96s. So it is heavier than the Wilson, there's no question about that. And then with single action, quite a bit of movement right there. Taking it up to there. It's not bad. It really isn't bad. Wilson. A little bit shorter for reset and then you're at the wall right here, and it just snaps. Again. Reset, wall. It's a wonderful trigger. I just think in every attribute of the trigger, the Wilson Combat with the action tune is a little bit better.
Yeah.
Than everything. What makes this action tune so good on this Wilson Combat is they also replaced the stock hammer spring with a 13-pound chrome silicone hammer spring. They basically took the pistol down. Wilson Combat redid the entire frame of the pistol by changing it to the Vertec and cutting the frame down and redoing it here. They re-armor toughed everything down here on the bottom. They gave it an action tune job here. They changed over the safeties up here to G models. They changed over your hammer right here to this beautiful hammer right there. They redid the barrel and they put a more accurate, longer life barrel in it. The frame itself will last longer than these other frames just because it's stronger, because it's better built, heavier duty built, and ready for more rounds. This gun was specifically put together by Wilson Combat to make sure it would be a hell of a shooter for lots of rounds. They think a lot of people are going to use this in competition shooting and that people are going to be pouring rounds through them. So the street price on the M9A3 G model, like you see right here, is around $925. What did I pay for mine? I paid like $8.99 or something for mine.
Yeah, around there, or $885, around there. So
right around $900. They're a little bit higher than that right now at our local dealer. The Wilson Combat, with all the features that it has, the Vertec grip and everything else, has an MSRP of $14.95. So you are paying more for this, but the professionals at Wilson Combat are the ones that are tuning it and building it for you. If you don't know, they make a lot of beautiful 1911s that start around the $3,000 mark and go up to around $7,500. If you're a Beretta fan, this is a heck of a lot less expensive, and you've joined the Wilson Combat family, and I'm telling you, it's better than my best Beretta currently. So final thoughts, guys. If you have not bought a top-of-the-line Beretta and you're picking between these two, and you can afford either one, the Wilson Combat is the better pistol. If you already own this one, I gotta tell you, it's better than all my other ones. So I think you made a wise decision here. If you're like me and you own several other Berettas, I'm already thinking about selling my other Berettas and picking up a couple of these. That's my thoughts on it. This is the better gun. If you're happy with what you have, I totally understand it and I dig it. But if you haven't made a decision yet, and it's between these two, and the extra $400, $500 is not that big a problem, you're getting a tuned masterpiece of a Beretta right here. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I'm keeping this one too, but I'm very happy that I got this. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this comparison video, and if you're interested in anything from Wilson Combat, go ahead and go to their website and check out their pistols. If you're interested in anything from Beretta, go ahead and go to their website and check out their pistols. And as always, everyone, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Beretta 9mm USA, and consider joining us on Patreon for more guns and gear videos coming up in the future.